I Want to Be an Astronaut by Michaela Montine, illustrated by Joe Ewers. My little brother Elmo and I watched a space shuttle take off. We watched it on TV. It was so exciting. We listened to the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Blast off! There was a loud roar and big clouds of smoke. Then the rocket zoomed up into the sky. The astronauts were inside the space shuttle. Someday I am going to ride inside a rocket ship too. I asked my mommy if there is an astronaut school. She said, yes, because there are so many things an astronaut has learned. Yes, because there are so many things an astronaut has to learn. Like what? I asked. Let's go to the library and find out, Daisy, said my mommy. The librarian helped me find a book about astronauts. I check it out and take it home. My mommy is right. There are so many things astronauts have to know. One of the most important is learning how to do their jobs in a place where there is no gravity. Gravity is what keeps on feet on the ground. Without it, we would float around in the air. In space, that is just what happens because in space there is no gravity. My book says that floating in the air feels a lot like floating in water, so astronauts practice in a big swimming pool. I think that sounds like fun. When astronauts finish their training, they are ready to be part of a crew on a rocket ship. Before they take off, they pack a bag. The astronauts bring socks and underwear and pajamas. Most of the time, they wear flight suits. The suits have lots of zip-up pockets so the astronauts' pens and pencils and notebooks won't float away. I told Elmo all the things I've learned so far. How do they keep their food from flying away? He asked. It was a good question, and I found the answer in my library book. The astronauts' food comes in little containers. When they are ready to eat, they snap the containers into trays. Then they fasten the trays to their laps so the food doesn't float away while the astronauts are eating. Wouldn't it be funny to see peas and hot dogs floating through the air? Said Elmo. Elmo and I looked at the pictures in my book. Where do the astronauts sleep? He asked. I don't see any beds. Maybe they are too excited to sleep, I said. But then I read that astronauts have to rest just like everyone else. They take off their flight suits and put on their pajamas. Then they zip themselves into sleeping beds that are attached to the walls of the spaceship. That way they won't drift around and bump into things while they're asleep. The astronauts live and work in an area at the front of the spaceship. There are lots of windows. They can look out the windows and see Earth as they fly around it. They can see mountains and deserts. They can see oceans and cities. When I'm an astronaut, I wonder if I'll be able to see my house from the spaceship. Will you wave to me when you fly by? Emma asked. I said, of course I will. Sometimes the astronauts have to go outside the rocket ship to fix something or to take pictures. In in space there is no air to breathe, and it could be very cold or very hot. The astronauts wear big spacesuits to protect themselves. They also wear backpacks and with tanks of air for them to breathe. Astronauts' helmets have earphones and a microphone inside so they can talk to each other. They also wear little rockets that snap onto the backpacks so they can fly around by themselves. I think that sounds like the most fun of all. Emma asked if I would be able to bring one of the little rockets home with me after my trip into space. I told him I didn't think so. Too bad, he said. It would be so much fun to fly around Sesame Street. I closed my eyes for a second and imagined what it would be like to float up in the sky at night. Someday I will wear a spacesuit and a little rocket on my back. Someday I will zip around in a spaceship taking pictures of Earth or maybe even Mars. When I grow up, I want to be an astronaut. The end.